throw me a big question.
Okay, I'm going to throw you a big one. What are your thoughts on the whole topical, although it always should be topical, Harvey Weinstein
What are my thoughts on it?
shebang? Shebang.
Harvey shebang.
Oh, God. Catherine.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
I would love a question.
Are you surprised at it?
Am I surprised at it?
Yeah.
Absolutely
To hear it's been
not.
going on.
Not.
I'm
honestly,
a little bit.
Honestly, no.
But I'm a little bit surprised in the sense that it's been joked about so much. To find out it's actually true, it's kind of like one of those conspiracy theories turning out to be true. I didn't think it happened in Hollywood. I thought maybe it would in some sleazy parts of Hollywood, but I didn't think that high up, genuinely.
Yeah.
Which does make me wonder how many. I hope people like Steven Spielberg are like nice people.
This is a scary thing. It's like the amount of power that they have in these industries. That's the scary thing. Because they hold the key to so many people's career paths.
Yeah.
I mean, it's scary enough as a woman or a man who's been abused to come forward and say that it happened.
But to have so much on the line.
But to have so much on the line too.
Yeah.
Very, very important point. Please, like, for the love of God, don't be putting all men into this one box because that's just insane.
Yeah.
When this stuff happens, like, it's not like always like really, really obvious that there's abuse going on. Because people think about like, oh, if he's like, to be really crude, if he's put his dick in you without your consent, yeah, that's abuse. But also,
it can be subtle.
It can be
and you can not
really
realise it's
subtle.
abuse.
Yeah.
I think as well.
And it will just make you feel a bit like,
Yeah.
like that was weird, like that was uncomfortable.
And I think as well, like,
but it's still not okay.
Yeah. And I think you, like, as a victim, you'd play it down as well.
Yeah, oh, completely. I'm really interested to hear your viewpoint as a guy. How many women in your life do you think you've met that have been treated on any scale like this by a man?
On any scale?
Yeah.
Like being...
As in, like, being whistled at?
Well, I think every girl.
You think 100%?
Yeah, maybe I didn't think that a couple of years ago, but I think recently... I don't know what it is recently. I don't know if it's because I'm older or because maybe I know more women or because it's just more open now. But I think, like, if the scale's completely open, then everyone, I think, because you could be walking down the street and a guy could do something and you don't know him, but that's still an experience.
Yeah.
If you're talking about in the workplace or like in a power scenario where it's someone who, you know, is supposed to be in charge of you.
Yeah.
Probably more than I think, but I don't know. Because I know that you've gone through stuff like that. Even if it's just like something small that's inappropriate that most guys wouldn't expect to happen. Or like, you know, just like an inappropriate comment.
Yeah.
And I think because hearing a lot come from you, I know that it will happen. I don't know. It's definitely, my view on it's definitely changed like the last few years.
And because I guess you haven't thought about it that much because you as a person don't do those things.
Yeah, when you don't do it, you don't see other people do it as well. Obviously, it happens in places where there are vulnerable people. I think that's one of the biggest things is that in Hollywood there are so many more vulnerable
young
people.
And impressionable women who are desperate to get ahead.
And people who
like you would be in a lot of other industries too. Would it surprise you if I told you that I am made to feel uncomfortable on a sexual level, average once a week?
It would surprise me that it's once a week, but it would depend on
sometimes
in the places as well. Like, if you were going out a lot, this isn't me being like,
oh no, I know.
This sounds like I'm going down the wrong way. If you went out a lot,
well, it's her fault because she goes out and she wears short skirts.
That's what it sounds like I'm going to say. I was going to say,
doesn't.
If you went out a lot, I feel like you're more likely to be in that situation because the kind of people who do that are in those situations more.
Yeah.
But if you were like, oh, it happens once a week on my commute to work, I'd be more shocked at that.
Yeah.
I know it happens, but once a week I'd be like, wow. But also it depends on what level. Like if it was a guy who glanced at your butt, your ass.
Your ass.
Does that count as feeling objectified?
Well, this is interesting. It happens so often, and you know what? I don't even. It just.
Yeah.
It hardly registers anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what's really sad, because like I'm so used to it, and every other fucking woman, I swear to you, it's every single woman will have experienced this. One incident where it was really, really packed on the tube, and a man was standing next to me, and of course I was just like, oh, we're just touching because we're close, because we can't help it. As people started filtering out of the tube, he wasn't moving away from me.
Were you standing up?
Even though there was space, there was plenty of space for him to move.
Honestly, I don't do that because I'm very aware that people are going to get back on the train, and I make an effort not to move.
He was pressing up against me.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's weird.
And he was like, his hand was like touching my bum. It wasn't like
just like up against you. Like, I get what you mean.
It was like, I could tell it was intentional.
Just uncomfortable.
And it was horrible. Like, it was the worst feeling. And you know when something's intentional like that.
Yeah. As much as I can be like, oh, but he could have been doing that, it's like, it's not something I experienced. So I can't be like, oh, surely it was this and that. I can see why people doubt it, because when you haven't gone through it, you can't imagine it. Also...
And you can barely believe it happens, like...
Yeah, as well. And also, because it's spoken about so much and people say it so much, there's always the worry that, like, oh, maybe people were assuming he was doing that because that's what's on the mind. But at the end of the day, I don't think...
It genuinely...
I think like you said, you know when it's...
Yeah. And honestly, I'm not the sort of person that automatically assumes that a stranger is going to be like that to me.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? How easy it is to ruin someone's life with accusations?
Because so many people came forward. And these are people that, you know, are very, what's the word? And there is actual evidence.
But, is there evidence?
Yeah. There's an audio recording that I heard that's one of the women recorded, and the way that he speaks to her is vile.
I honestly think he was fired because everyone knew in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And it had finally come out and they had a reason to fire him.
Yeah, I think so too.
It was his own company.
And they knew 100% this is true.
They had to deal with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everybody knew the secret about him being an absolute arsehole.
Yeah. How do you feel about people who didn't come forward and say something sooner? Men.
The person that's done something wrong here is Harvey Weinstein.
Okay.
This is where 100% of the blame should go to.
What about people who covered him up? Who covered for him?
I don't think that's right. However, I can understand the fear. That is a really good question.
I think there's two sides of it. I think there's the people who didn't speak out because of fear, and then there are people who did defend him because maybe they were involved in it too, which is obviously wrong.
Yeah.
The actress, but she had a male friend who warned another actress, and it turned out the actress he warned was already sleeping with Harvey, and she told Harvey, and that male actor was blacklisted.
I think he was a very powerful and persuasive man. That's what I think.
Yeah. And not just persuasive, I think he had too much control over people.
There are no straightforward answers. This isn't a...
Yeah, it's not black and white.
Yeah.
Obviously what he did is wrong and wrong.
Yeah.
But there are so many things to it to judge and to question.
And this isn't a video that's meant to give answers, it's just a discussion about it.
I was looking for answers, thank you. It's very interesting that these rumours and like jokes and conspiracies of like Hollywood being all controlled by people like that has partly turned out to be true.
I mean, it will have been going on from the beginning of Hollywood, and you know, like when the early film stars were in Hollywood, you got tied into a contract that you couldn't get out of, and I'm sure there was some horrible things going on in that sense too then. Thank you for talking about that with me.
That's okay.
It was very serious. I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
You should be
Sometimes
sorry.
you gotta be a bit serious. Let me know what you think about
this
this
whole
this whole thing.
Topsy-turvy situation.
Topsy-turvy. I've never heard anything more British.
Next time, we'll be tackling racism.